Okay, it's 3 minutes past the hour, and we'll get started. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Raj Sethuraman. I'm Vice President of Product Management here at Cambium Networks, responsible for cnMaestro, cnPilot, and our cnMatrix portfolios. Today, we wanted to give you a quick update on cnMaestro. We have Ashish, who will lead us through the presentation. And we also have Rob Mellencamp, who leads cnMaestro development on the line. Certainly, we can take some questions and answer as we go along. We have a new release out, 2.1.0, which is just earlier released in an on-prem version in January, and we are now rolling out that in the cloud as well as we speak. And today, we will focus a little bit more on the feature set that's coming. It's a fairly packed release with a lot of interesting capabilities, specifically things like email notification and scheduled software upgrades. It's been popular requests out there. We are bringing it to this release. But without further ado, I will pass it over to Ashish, and he will, we wanted to kind of have one of the engineering leads talk through this, so you kind of hearing it right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So we will get into that. He will go through the feature details, and also, if time permits, do a quick demo of the capabilities on cnMaestro. So with that, over to you, Ashish.
Thank you, Ren. Hi, everyone. I'm Ashish, and I'm a product designer with cnMaestro at Cambium Networks. So as Red has already mentioned, that 2.1.0 is one of the biggest release with a lot of performance improvement and many features which have been asked. And so we have implemented this with 2.1.0. For cloud, we are also rolling out the release and is gradually rolling. Where the cloud release is 2.1.1 with the cnMatrix switch in that. So with that, let me start. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about what are the enhancements and the new feature we have added with 2.1.0. The other thing is the new updates with our NBI northbound APIs and the new devices which we have added with 2.1.0 point-to-point cnReach, which is IIoT device, and the cnMatrix switches. cnMatrix switches are only available with the cloud, and it is in currently beta. As Rad has already mentioned, that scheduled software upgrade and email notification are one of the popular features, and they are available immediately with 2.1.0 release. Apart from this, we have the bulk reboot of the devices, CSV configuration import, which is only for the PMP and EPMP devices. Then we have the WLAN overrides. I'm going to speak more about each feature in next slides, and probably I'm going to demo you some of the important features. So there will be some changes of the screen, and I will try to go as slow as possible so that there will be less distraction. Then we have the wireless client and LAN status for the cnPilot home. Then there's guest access portal, logout, Twitter capability for the guest login. And these are the few on-premises only features like in-system upgrade, SSH access enable, disable, NTP support, and IPv6 networking. Scheduled software upgrade. So this is something which has been asked for long, that you guys wanted to schedule the software upgrade so that no one has to sit and monitor it, or so that and there should not be an outage, because you want to perform these upgrades at the time when there are less traffic. So this is available with 2.1.0. You can select the time to perform the device upgrade, and upgrades will be skipped if the device is offline, but we are giving the option that you can retry this as soon as the device is reconnected. And the immediate upgrade are still supported as it was supported earlier. Email notification. with 2.1.0, you can have a application level email configured for the alarm notification, and we allow you to choose the criticality, which alarms you want to be notified over the email, be it critical or major or minor. And this allows super administrator and administrator user to add subscriber. Two email subscriber can be added with this feature, and we are supporting two format in this. One is JSON and the HTML format. The JSON format, you can create external workflows, or you can handle the email automatically. So we are going to write an article about it in a few days, how you can utilize this feature to create external workflows. This feature needs that you configure an external SMTP server for the on-premises. So probably let me do this way. Probably I will just immediately demo the feature as I speak. So that way it will be easy for you guys to track it. So let me put my cnMaestro instance. So for the email notification, first you will go on the settings in your cnMaestro UI. In the notification, you need to enable the email notification, and you can configure the email ID of the subscriber who are supposed to receive this email notification. So let's say I want to subscribe for only the critical alarms, and let me add the email. I can select the format of the email, be it HTML or the JSON. And even I can ignore the notification. Let's say I just, so three options are there. You can ignore the notification for EPMP, SM, PMP, SM, and CN Pilot Home going offline. Just add it here. You can remove it if you want to remove it, and you can add up to 2 subscribers. But this feature needs that the SMTP should be configured, so that you can do it from this application support server, then settings. Here you have to configure email server. So I have already configured it. So you need to enter the port, host, username, password, and the sender email from the email should be received, and the certificate. And there's option to send a test email, so you can verify this feature here itself, that if the emails are going fine or not. So this was about the email notification. Then I have talked about the scheduled software upgrade. So this is my dashboard, and let's say I pick this device, CN Pilot device. So in the dashboard here, option is software update. I have only one single image here, but let's say you want a new software upgrade has been released for this image. You upload this, you come back here, and from here you can select the image, and then you can schedule it from here. So let's say I want to schedule it for tomorrow, the same time. I can add any note, let's say CN Pilot device upgrade. This will create a software job which you can track from job section. So this upgrade has been scheduled here. From here you have option to see more details. The device status is online, and what version it is in, what version it is going, the device mode, and all. And the note which we had, it can be seen here, so that if there's anything specific you want, if there are many users you just want to notify, or you just want to add any additional note, you can add it from here. This is the option to abort a job, just in case if you just don't want this job to run, or this is the way to delete this job entirely. So this was about the software update. And as I mentioned, the immediate software update is still available. That is now. So again, this job will execute immediately. So this was about the software update. So we have talked about the scheduled software upgrade and the email notification. The next is bulk reboot of the devices. So this is also many of the customers ask on the community that sometimes it is required that you want to reboot multiple devices. So this feature is also available. Let me show you this one also. So we'll go to the inventory from the cnMaestro UI. Let me go on the dashboard. So this feature is only available for at the network in the site level. So let's say I go on this site, this tower, and this is available on network tower level, and I select this 2 devices to be rebooted. These are already offline, so this will be skipped. But here's the option. In the action, you have option to reboot immediately, or you can schedule it. So let's say schedule it for tomorrow. So this will also create a job, and the jobs will be visible on the jobs page on actions. So you have the details, which all the devices are going to be rebooted. And there's option to delete this job. If you just don't want to run it, you just delete it. As I mentioned, from the jobs page, you can track the reboot progress, how the reboot is going, and so when the device will be rebooting, then you can, on real time, you can see what's the status of their failures or it went successful. The next is CSV configuration import. This is only supported for the EPMP and PMP AP devices with the latitude, longitude, height, azimuth, and elevation. So this is kind of bulk update of these parameters for the devices. And for the EPMP and PMP SM devices, we are supporting the latitude and longitude update. So this is like customer asks, like, these are the features and these are the configurations. So earlier what was the case is you're going and selecting each device, updating this. So now what you can do, all of these features can be updated in one run. So let me show you this also. This is only supported for the EPMP and PMP devices. So let's say I'll go in inventory. Let me select PMP device. So I have these PMP devices. So for these, I can do is select here, and you want to do import device configuration. This option here. When you click on device, click on this link, you have option like you can download a sample template. How the sample template looks is, so this is a sample template. So you'll enter all the MAC address of the devices. This can be in any order. And then you add all the information and all the parameters you want to update. First 2 rows will be ignored. Once you made this update, you can upload this in cnMaestro. You can upload it here. And for all those devices which were there in the CSV, if they are EPMP and PMP, and if the parameters are supported, they will be updated and the same configuration will be pushed on the device itself. So this was about the CSV configuration import. This is also available for both the cloud and on-premises. WLAN overrides. This is something like you want to, whenever you want to push a WLAN changes on the device, you want to real-time update. You want to update a unique device like such as SSID, enable or disable of SSID or the passphrase. So these are supported as part of the device override now, and these can be configured the device configuration page. Let me show you where it is. So I have one Wi-Fi device, cnPilot device. We go on inventory, dashboard. Then here we have configuration. So let me select a different AP group. So this is the AP group, which has a default WLAN as this name. But from here, you just want to override this. So you can just say, let's override with the webinar update. You can enable or disable SSID, or even you can change the passphrase from this screen. And once you push this configuration, so although the AP group was configured with a different SSID, but while pushing on the device, these 3 things can be, you can override from here. So this is also one of the very important feature. So you don't have to modify the SSID. So this is kind of one template you want to keep, but you just want to override these 3 parameters. So once you apply this configuration, a configuration job will be created, which you can track from here. So this has been finished. So this is the way you can track here that the update has been completed. The next feature in the line is wireless client and LAN statistics. These are like these are the additional thing which we are showing on the dashboard. Let me show you just. This for CN pilot devices. So if you go here on the so these are the additional thing we are showing here for the CN pilot devices, and similarly for the clients, there's additional download and upload details here. So I don't have any clients here, but these are additional things which are showing for the CN pilot devices. Gas access portal logout. This is a logout functionality for the gas client. So this allows the gas to use allocated session time more precisely. So for example, you have a voucher, you provide that to guests, and the feature is like that they get the 1 hour of time and the renewal frequency is 1 day. So they can use this in intervals. So let's say they logged in for 10 minutes and they log out, and rest 50 minutes they can use as they require till their renewal frequency. So this is very important feature from the gas portal point of view. This is also available here on gas access portal. So let's say this is a gas access portal. You enable, and here is there enable logout functionality for the gas client. So gas client will see on the gas portal, they will see a button to log out. You can enable. The other thing which we have here is, which is on my slide, is the social login. We already had the social login. We were supporting Google, Facebook, and Office 365. Now we have Twitter support here. Obviously, you need to add the Twitter API and secret keys. But now the guests can, if they have any Twitter account, and they can use the same account credential to log into gas portal. This we already talked. Twitter for gas login, enable Twitter for gas portals. This is under social login I have already shown you. And gas client can log in using the Twitter credentials. In-system upgrade. This is a very important feature. We know that this was a very tedious job for many of the customers, that we have two kind of release. One is OR release and one is the package update. So whenever we are doing the OR release, that you guys need to do a new OR mount, and from the existing version of the cnMaestro or your deployments, you need to do the export and import that in this new OR. But from 2.1.0 for OR also, we are having in-system upgrade. So there's no need to do any export or import from your existing deployment, and there won't be any need to create any new additional OR mounts for a new version. So for the package update, we already had this functionality, but for the OR, it is there. So this is there on the operations page. Server, and then operations. So this is the existing package update feature, which whenever we're releasing the package updates, you are able to upgrade from here. But now this additional thing here is OR. So you can upload a OR file here. Obviously, the OR files are huge in the size, so it will take some time. So it will upload it, and then you will get option here to apply a new version of the OR, and your cnMaestro will upgrade to the new version. So there won't be any hassle, and will be seamless upgrade going forward. SSH enable and disable. Earlier, what was the case was whenever you want to log in on the machine, you have to run the manual SSH enable command and opening of the different ports. But now you can enable or disable SSH directly from the cnMaestro console. So this is the way it looks. Let me show you this. So this is the screen when you first time log in on the cnMaestro virtual machine. So here you will go and on the maintenance, this is the option to enable or disable SSH. And enable or disable SSH here. The next feature in the line is NTP configuration. So this is enabled by default, and by default it uses Google's public NTP server. We allow option that you can configure up to 4 NTP custom servers, and this also needs to be enabled now from the cnMaestro console from the virtual machine itself. This is on the same blue screen. You have network option. On the same blue screen, you have settings, and in this you have the NTP option. You can select up to 4. By default is Google public DNS if it's reachable. The next feature is the IPv6 networking. We are supporting both IPv4 and IPv6. But if you're configured the IPv6 and if it is supported from the device side, so you can manage the device over IPv6, and cnMaestro UI can also be accessed over IPv6. This also needs to be enabled from the console. This is here in network and IPv6. You need to enable it, and you can enter the static IP which you want to configure. Now, what are the different updates for the cnMaestro NBI API? So there's a detailed documentation, but few of the key feature here is you can claim device using API. You can update the configuration of the device from the through the API, and you can track the progress of the updates. Let me show you something here. We validate this token. So I'm using the same cnMaestro to access it, and I already configured API client and all the tokens and everything is in place. Let me validate token. Let me request a new token. This is the tool I'm using, the Postman. This is third-party tool. So this is a detailed document. This is a little more technical in detail. So, but you can just go through the API document available on the Cambium website. But I will show you that. So let me find the Mac from here. Let's use this device only. So this is the MAC address of the device. Yeah. So right now, this is the name of the device, and let me update it with the new name. I don't want to update the lat and long now, or let me update the lat long also. See if it works. So it has been done. Let's see if our changes are reflecting here. It's here now. So the name and the latitude and longitude has been updated. So now you can use the API to update these kind of things. So let's say there's many devices and you just want to update it. So you can just run through those programmatically and update. The next is, yeah, the jobs also. So now we allow you to track the jobs through the API. And this is only for the configuration jobs. So these are the many jobs which have been created, and you can track in individual jobs also with the job ID. So this is my job ID I already entered. So the details are when the job has completed, what was the creation time, who has created it, and what all the things are affected with this job. So all these details are here, and you can just use these APIs to control the jobs. So I will appreciate that you all go and download the latest API document and utilize this feature. Now the new devices with cnMaestro 2.1.0, we have the PTP 650, 670, and 700 devices are supported, and I have few PTP devices. Let me show you. Let me use this one. I think these are the online devices. So PTP has many different kind of architecture like master slave or SCMP. So I have the very simple configuration here. This is master and slave configuration. So this is a nice dashboard we are showing, visualizing that okay, this is one master and one slave, and what is the MAC address, and these graphs to show the throughput and the capacity. Then we have the notification, alarm, and events here, the device online, offline, and configuration changes. But the configuration changes are not supported, and software update are not supported from the cnMaestro UI with 2.1.0. These you have to do it from the device console only, but the supports are coming soon from cnMaestro side. Then there are the performance graphs. So these are like this, as I hope that you most are familiar with the cnMaestro ecosystem. So exactly what we are showing for the other devices, the same way we are showing the performance graph here. The other device which came with 2.1.0 is our cnReach, that is IIoT devices. This is available at both cloud and on premises. PTP is also available in both cloud and on premises. So cnReach devices can also be visualized and managed through cnMaestro. So I have one cnReach device also here. So in this also there are different configuration. I have this bridge APP configuration here. The same way, like, and even the device specific detail, what is the motherboard and all the notification. For cnReach device, you can push the configuration from the cnMaestro UI. You can push the template and the device configuration from cnMaestro UI. Then the device detail, very detailed. What is the interface, neighbors, radios. So everything is visible, and you can manage everything from the cnMaestro UI. For the software update, for cnReach, we have something option called this option of bulk upgrade. So this effectively copies the software image over WLAN and distributes it for the upgrade to the children's of the AP device, cnReach AP. And there are some tools like, let's say from this device, you want to try a ping to see if for this device, if this specific IP or the host name is reachable or not. This ping is actually happening from the cnReach device, and this is being shown here. So central control here. So rest for the cnReach also, like the rest of the things remains in the notification, the configuration, software update. Reports are also available. So you can generate the report for cnReach device. One thing to mention here is cnReach devices are only available from the industrial view. As many of you know, we had the access and backhaul view, we had the wireless view. Now we have something called industrial internet view. So from the industrial internet view, you can see all of the devices. So this is something is required for cnReach devices. So you should be in the industrial internet view to see the cnReach devices. cnReach devices are not available from the access and backhaul and the Wi-Fi view. This is something to be keep in mind. And the cnMatrix switch. cnMatrix switch are only available from in the cloud. The cloud release is 2.1.1, and there's one upcoming webinar on March 7 from John, who is the Senior Engineering Director for the cnMatrix, and probably he will go in more detail what is there with the cnMatrix. But I have a few of the screenshot to show you how we are showing this in the cnMaestro Cloud UI. Like so, this is 24 port switch, and this is the port mirroring. So you can see that 5 and 6 are configured for the port mirroring. So this is from the cnMaestro UI, and then this is a PoE port, the port which can even supply the power, so power as well as the network. So this is available from the this is available, and this is being rolled out for many of our cloud server, and gradually will be available for all the cloud customers. This is only available in the cloud, and as I mentioned, there's a upcoming webinar on March 7, so please do register and join them. That's it. I was so fast, I think.
Hey, thanks, Ashish. Appreciate that. There were a few questions. I think, Rob, you may have already answered it, but do you just want to quickly run through those, given that we have some time, and then we can potentially open it up for other questions that people may have?
Sure. So there was a question on the notifications that they don't include the downstream FM, and so when you essentially when you add a new subscriber, you have an option of essentially ignoring certain notifications. We didn't want to have too many notifications for SM, and so you would need to unclick that. So if you didn't unclick that, then you wouldn't get any notifications for downstream SMs. There's another question about how the email server is configured in the cloud, and you don't need an email server for the cloud. We use our own system to essentially to send the messages. When will PTP 820 be supported in cnMaestro? So that's a tricky question. We do have a long-term plan to support PTP 820, and we're trying to figure out a way to prioritize that, but there isn't a committed date yet for when that will be done. We have another one in, let's see. So are email notifications working in cnMaestro now? And the answer is yes. They're in on-premises and also within cloud. In cloud, you'll need to have 2.1.1. Most accounts have been updated to 2.1.1. If you don't see it on the bottom of your account, give it another day or so, and it should be updated and available. So there's some more questions for statistics longer than 7 days. So right now, both cloud and on-premises are limited to 7 days of statistics. And when we roll out cnMaestro Pro, the professional version of cnMaestro this summer, then we'll extend that time into at least 6 months. We haven't determined the specific time frame, but the 7 days will essentially be removed when we roll out the Pro version of cnMaestro. Will we be able to migrate Wireless Manager to cnMaestro Pro? We won't. Wireless Manager and cnMaestro Pro will be sort of separate licenses, and so they'll be treated differently. cnMaestro Pro is going to have a completely different sort of licensing scheme, which I'm sure we'll present at at a future time. Let's see. So Rad, there's a question about supporting more than 10 users, and I believe that's going to be essentially that will be addressed by cnMaestro Pro this summer, and it'll either be 25 users or unlimited users. That's still something that we're discussing. I think for on-premises, unlimited seems reasonable, but we're still working that out. And then we have a question on, could you please show us where I should configure the cnMaestro API so that it works with SAP Business One? So I'm not entirely sure what the requirements are for SAP Business One. My assumption would be is that if you wanted to integrate it into, into SAP, you would need to essentially write some code that would communicate with cnMaestro and would talk to our API. We don't explicitly integrate into a specific product. We're providing an API this product can essentially use to extract information from cnMaestro. We have a document online within Support Center that gives a full overview of the current API functionality. Right now, it's very much targeted to monitoring and then sort of basic onboarding configuration, and we're going to continue to extend that substantially over the next probably the next 8 to 12 months. Yes. So cnMaestro. So the last question so far is, will the free version be available after the Pro's release? And the answer is yes. Cambium's committed to a free version. You'll see within cnMaestro, we have within the current UI, we have certain purple icons that we use to list the essentially the Pro features. And so essentially the features that have the little purple Pro monikers, those will be essentially considered Pro features. Features that don't have those would continue to be free. Next question: when is EPMP supported by cnMaestro? So EPMP was actually our first product supported by cnMaestro. So right now cnMaestro supports with this latest release. We support EPMP, PMP, cnPilot, PTP, cnReach, and cnMatrix beta. And then EPMP 3000. So anything within EPMP when it comes out will be is essentially supported by cnMaestro, just sort of by default. I think that's the end of the questions for now.
Thank you, Rob, for going through that. I don't see any further questions coming in. Let's give it a few more seconds, and see if there's any last. I think there's a comment that came in on EPMP 3000, Rob.
Yes. Oh, and there's one more. I think there was one more question about Radius. So Radius essentially is used. I didn't fully quite understand the Radius question. So Radius within cnMaestro is used for essentially for user authentication. And so you can essentially configure it so that when your users log in through your Radius server, then they can be assigned to a cnMaestro role based upon a role within the Radius server, and that allows them to get either super administrator or operator or monitor access into cnMaestro. And so the question was would we provide essentially a Radius dictionary that's similar to what PMP devices have? And I don't know enough about Radius to be able to answer if that makes sense or not. I do know that it is supposed to be really simple. Essentially, that the user goes in and they can list the roles themselves or list the roles that are mapped to our particular roles within the Radius. But how a radius dictionary would work in this case. I'm not sure.
Rob, there was a question, clarification on your EPMP 3000 support. Can you confirm that you're saying that cnMaestro can support EPMP 3000?
I think that yeah. Yeah. I think we may need to yeah. Let's get back to the folks on that. That hasn't yeah. So in general, we support EPMP completely, but I'm not entirely sure if there's something unique about this that I'm not understanding. So we'll get back on that.
Yeah, I think a few more follow-up on the radius question, and perhaps Linda, we should connect offline with you to get a little bit more clarification of the use case and provide more details. Is cnMaestro guest access portal compatible with requirements of Wi-Fi for EU Cap2 portal? So, Rob, do you want to take it? I have a viewpoint on that also that I can chime in.
Yeah, why don't you take that? That's kind of more of a Impala question.
Yeah, so I think yeah, we are getting there. There's one requirement for I think Passpoint certification. I think we are certified. I think some of the APs are going through final certification in the lab. So, but the short answer is yes, we will be compatible. There are certain details we are working to finalize as we speak. And there's one more. Yeah, the commentary about the release notes for cnMaestro saying that EPMP is not still supported. So we will clarify that. We'll come back on that. Will it be possible to implement portal for Wi-Fi for EU on cnMaestro? I don't have a good answer for that, but we'll also take that action to come back with that. Thanks for that question. Great engagement. Thank you all for your wonderful questions and your participation today. I'll give it I know there are a few more questions still coming in, so since we have 15 more minutes left in the officially scheduled webinar, we'll give it a couple more minutes and see if there are any other questions you have to answer. Who can I contact about portal for Wi-Fi for EU questions? Let me give you I'll type out my email address and we will follow up with you. You can start with me and it's funny, when I type out a response, I don't see the answer somehow. So hopefully that came out, rad.sethuraman@cambiumnetworks.com. And yeah, feel free to contact me and we will get a response to you on that. David joined late. Would like to see a copy of the presentation. Susan, I think how do we make that available? Actually, David, a lot of it was actually done as a live demo of the screenshots of cnMaestro. So we'll work on. I don't know whether it's a recording that it's available later, Susie.
Yes, the recording will be posted to our YouTube page and the community forum. If we get the slides, I can also post those as well in a PDF format on the community as well.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Rad, just one quick point. So for EPNT 3000, so we're just making sure that so it will be supported within cnMaestro, but yeah, it's not in the release notes. So if it's not there right now, it will be supported soon. So we just need to close off on whether or not it was held back for a little while longer just because of some issues. But it will be there.
Perfect. Thank you. Hi, Susie, can you clarify? There's a question about your comment, but I think you said it's posted on the Cambium community, so if you can clarify that comment.
Yes, I'm looking for the question. Yes, the Cambium community, it's a forum where we have different landing pages for each of our product lines. You can find it on our website, www.cambiumnetworks.com. There's a link for the community, and you can join as a guest, or you can sign up and have access all the time, get email notifications, post, and do anything you want. It's an open forum to talk with Cambium employees. And we post all of our webinars and latest topics. We have other customers on there too. So it's just a chat forum to have people talk with you.
I just posted the link to the community page. So a great resource because there's a lot of good engagement. You're talking with your peers. Certainly, if you're not there, I encourage you to check it out. Okay, I think we have reached the end of all the questions. And once again, thank you all for your participation and your engagement through the webinar. Feel free to contact us for any specific topics you would like to cover in future webinars. And like Susie said, the recording will be posted on the YouTube channel as well as in the community page under cnMaestro. So please pass the word, and anybody that you think has missed it, they can go back and listen to the recording. With that, we will close the webinar for today, and thank you all for your participation.